It says live.
It is live, but now we also just got a weird notice on here as well. But doesn't matter. Hi, everybody. Welcome to a new GameItAll.com podcast. I'm Lucas Grimm.
Hey, what up? It's Pino25, and we haven't done this since E3.
Yeah, it's been a wild and crazy month. And we got some shit to talk about now, guys.
Well, yeah, because tons of shit has been going on. Shit has hit the fan. And then we got new exciting shit to talk about. That's kind of confusing, but also kind of awesome at the same time, but confusing. So let's talk about assholes.
Yeah, we have at least 3 stories of assholes since our break, so we have to talk about it.
Well, and, 3 groups of assholes. Yeah, 3 groups of assholes, and it's our usual suspects. It's like that movie.
It really is. Like, when we're talking about people being assholes or companies being assholes, it's usually the three big companies. Actually, one of them is fairly new that we don't really talk about too often, but when they do hit the news, it's like, wow, you're being such a asshole that you have to be called out on this.
But 2 of them are original assholes of the original 3. So we have in one corner, well, one that we're not going to talk about is Konami. I'm surprised about that.
Yeah, Konami surprisingly dodged a bullet somehow.
They're just chilling.
They're just they're like, you know what? We released Contra, we released Castlevania, and we're doing a new Contra game. We'll just sit back here.
And they haven't done anything with MGS, so they're good. So let's turn around to our regular other assholes, EA and Activision. So let's start with EA.
Actually, let's start with Activision because that one happened first in the list of stuff.
Okay, so a couple weeks ago, we had a new expose on Kotaku, and this is the second one since March. So in March, they broke the news that over at BioWare, over at BioWare, they were a bunch of completely chickens with their heads cut off. It was a complete fucking shit show. We reported on that. It went this whole thing went, around the internet, and it was not good for EA.
And it wasn't, that had major effects on a lot of things, including how a lot of stuff in the game industry itself is being affected at the moment with crunch time and everything like that.
Well, and also we had, this wasn't the first showing of company bullshit. We had company like Riot.
Yep. And
really bad.
A lot of stuff like that happened during that part. Now, with the crunch time has been going through let's just say like a lot of crunch time has been going through and being I'm trying to think the right words here for this.
People are being overworked and they are falling apart and they are developing stress casualties, something that you deal with in the military.
Thank you very much. That's exactly what I was going for.
That was EA back in March. This time it was evil number 2, Activision's fault, with last year's release of Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
So, Black Ops 4, if as everyone knows, is the multiplayer-only Call of Duty, which features a battle royale mode, zombie mode, and the classic multiplayer game. Now, news came out during this expose that Black Ops 4 supposed to be, knowing this stuff, you see the evidence. There's definitely evidence that Black Ops 4 was trying to do something and was going to try to be more original, but something happened along the lines where something just got dropped. And this actually explains this. So, what happened is that during Black Ops 4, there was supposed to be a full-on story mode that would have major ramifications on how you could play it. In fact, you could play two sides of a war, being the good guys and bad guys. Characters would come together in multiplayer mode and pretty much play out the story like that. If you lost, the story went a certain way. If you won, the story went another way. And the game would continue like that. The problem is that in quality assurance testing, despite like the demo and like popular opinion on it was like, holy shit, this is awesome, it didn't reach how it was supposed to work in the full game.
When shit be broken, it be broken. And if the devs can't fix it, well, you're shit out of luck.
With Activision pushing for like a yearly release, they did the thing of dropping out one of the most important things of a Call of Duty game, in my opinion, which is taking out the story mode.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Of games that we have, how can we pad this out? And that is actually how we got the Black Ops mode, or Blackout mode, I should say. So they looked at Fortnite and PUBG, and everything was just set so that they could make a battle royale game within the time and release it during that schedule. Now, during that time, though, they had to do a major crunch, and it caused a lot of problems for the team. And the biggest ones of those crunch members is the quality assurance team, the QA teams. QA had to push through notes upon notes on what was broken with Black Ops or Blackout. I keep saying Black Ops, but it's supposed to be Blackout.
Same shit.
It's same thing. The notes after notes of what was wrong with everything in the game. And when it came down to the end of it, this actually happened close around to the time that was mentioned about Activision doing their and also shutting down the studios. They did have a party for, job well done. We released the game, and it seemed going really good. The QA was told that they were only allowed down at the party for a max of 20 minutes, and that we really shouldn't be drinking because we still had work. That was according to one tester in this expose. It sucked, but we're honestly pretty used to getting these sort of rules when they throw a party here. That's a dick move.
Yeah, that's horribly bad.
That's like having, like, if you work at a retail shop, and you're like one of the cashiers, you're only doing cashiers. Cashiers can only go party for 20 minutes, but meanwhile, we're going to take the people that load up the stock and everything. We're going to take them out for drinks and like pay for food and stuff.
Do you know what? Do you know what works? You have to work at a place that's all QA.
Oh, and then you get treated.
No. You get to separate the people that work for different clients. So if they work on a shitty client, you get to bitch slap them out. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But that's just it. That's just it. Also, there's the salaries that they talked about in the article for the QA people. $13 an hour.
Dude, I get paid more than that in my technical support job.
Like, what the hell?
Like, as a base.
$13 an hour to $13 to $30 an hour. That's ridiculous.
It is. Yeah, that's like, what's happening here?
Like, I don't know. Games industry, you make all the money.
Now, there's a lot that's happening in the expose. Definitely recommend reading it. It's called The Human Cost of the Call of Duty Black Ops 4. And it's one of Kotaku's best writers. I can definitely mention on that.
Yeah, he's hands down one of their best investigative journalists.
Yeah, and it's a very good read, and especially knowing if you played Black 4 and you're just looking at what could have been, and it sucks. I mean, this is actually probably something that Activision has to see and go, okay, oh, there's something wrong. Certain EA's in at the moment. But then again, if they don't release Call of Duty, this is where they have nothing else backing up their systems.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Activision has fuck all.
They have Blizzard. That's about
it. Yeah, but
and
look at what Blizzard's been doing lately. Oh, Diablo for the phone?
Diablo for the phone. There's Overwatch, but Overwatch has to make money on the loot boxes. Another thing we're going to touch on very soon.
There's
also you also have the only other game they really released last year was Spiral.
Yeah, well, that's fine, but that was a remaster. It wasn't anything new.
I mean, this year they do have a backup with Sekiro. However, that's more from software than anything else.
That's just publishing.
That's just them publishing.
Also, yeah, they had Crash this year for racing, but was Crash really that big of a release?
It was number one for a little bit on the
but
charts,
it wasn't as big as Crash original release and also Spyro.
Yeah, exactly. So they have to make a lot on the residuals in this case in order to keep everything afloat. Yeah. They're not going to get anything from a new game if they don't release Call of Duty. And even with Bungie with their Destiny 2, and you can already see their roadmap now that they're out of Activision has improved, that there's going to be something. It's going to be a major turn for the game. That's that little bit of the Activision greed removed from the game that's helping it move along. So yeah, that part of Activision is now at the point where they are making themselves the bad guys. And this is going to be the big point, because that kind of leads into our next topic here as well, which is with EA. So, so EA.
Oh my God. EA is like, are they just someone that's stupid?
I wouldn't say stupid. They're not. They're not
oblivious,
stupid, but they're oblivious.
They're oblivious to their own way of being.
Yes. Let me just pull up that one thing about their loot boxes, because that was just
oh my God.
So
it became one of my favorite new sayings.
So as we all know, loot boxes are a very questionable mechanic. We'll go with questionable. We're not going to say they're good or bad.
They're not.
That's a whole.
We're not going to go they're ethical or not ethical.
That's going to be a whole different conversation, and that's going to take up most of this podcast. But we definitely know that they're not a great feature, and a lot of people agree with that. There's a lot of problems with loot boxes and randomly generated gear and
content.
So you get a a game like Battlefront 2 in this case. We'll go with Battlefront 2 because that is the game that started this whole controversy. Before that, when you looked at loot boxes, a lot of them were not pay to win mechanics. This one was an obvious pay to win on a huge game. And it's not just like a game like FIFA or anything, which is huge in its own right, but it's not a game that's reaching out to absolutely everyone, including kids, including fans of Star Wars, people fans of shooters. Doesn't matter what, they are interested.
The worst part is Disney is all right with this because they believe they can't make games.
Disney can't make games, but that's another conversation.
Because they killed all their good studios.
Exactly. So they do this, and now we have a whole legal issue with are loot boxes an ethical or like something that should be done in games, which general people are going, no, that shouldn't happen. Now we have EA trying to fight for their stance to keep loot boxes because, if they don't, they're going to lose so much money.
They got to fight for their right to loot box.
Yeah, fight for the right to loot box. And during a UK Parliament meeting, they preferred to call the loot boxes surprise mechanics and argued that their use in EA games is quite ethical, quite fun, and enjoyable to people.
Oh, yeah, because it's a surprise. It's a Kinder Surprise, bud.
I mean, when you look at loot boxes like that, like if they are cosmetic, like say Overwatch, really I find a lot of people don't hate on that as much. You get one for leveling up, you are doing your challenges, and it's a surprise.
Or if you can spend like in-game currency, like you get credits, you do certain things, you get money,
Exactly.
It's not costing you a penny. But when it gets to the point that it costs you something, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, and so to the point here, they were talking about the Ultimate Team Packs, which, yes, that is heavily similar to what the Battlefront 2 fiasco is. But nobody talks about it because it just seems to work for FIFA. Them. It's FIFA, it's also UFC, it's
the people that buy the FIFA, the UFC, and all these other things are just sad people that have nothing better to do.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but sure.
Well,
so yeah, they did take it as like the Kinder eggs, which they said people like surprises. Now, this is actually still kind of an ironic statement because in the U.S., Kinder eggs are banned.
Well, yeah,
because the illegal. Prizes could be a choking hazard.
Well,
So she went on to mention. By the way, this is Kerry Hopkins, the Vice President of Legal and Government Affairs in EA. So, we do think that the way we've implemented these kind of mechanics is quite ethical and quite fun. They aren't gambling, and we disagree that there's evidence that shows that they lead to gambling. Arguably,
whoa, gambling. There is an RNG behind the thing of, you push the button, you pay your money, you put a bet, you get this in return.
Yeah.
That describes compliance level shit of gambling.
It really does. It is straight up.
I have read my fucking my compliance documentation for years on fucking gambling, and that's gambling.
So EA is in the middle of this fight, and during the middle of the whole fight, and everyone making fun of them for this, they came out with an interview with GameIndustry.biz, and this is the best part. So this was from Matt Blimey, who works as EA's company EVP of strategic growth. There we go. And he came up with this
concept.
This concept that he doesn't understand why EA is looked at as a villain, We see stuff like how they mentioned with the loot boxes being ethical and how they actually pushed it and was like, no, this is okay. This works. You're not looking at the bigger picture, bud. So his statement, 25 years at EA, and I still struggle with the external perception that we're just a bunch of bad guys. We love making and playing games. Unfortunately, we've made mistakes on games. The world knows it because of our size and scale. He is right on that. You make a mistake as a big company. People will get this information, to be honest, because back a few years ago they were like, "Oh, we've won the worst company in America award." Over the people that sold houses,
over the banks,
over
and
the
the
banks
mortgage
that foreclosed
companies
on houses.
Like, come on.
Yeah, like over the people that you could owe money to and just completely fuck you over. That's what you won against.
Yay!
And during that time, like before Battlefield 2, I would say that was unjust. Once Battlefield 2 happened and everything just kind of rolled downhill.
Battlefront.
I said Battlefront.
What?
Battlefield.
Battlefront, not Battlefield. Battlefield, all right, but Battlefront bad. Wow.
Even that Battlefield.
No, original Battlefield. Let's go with that.
Original Battlefield, yes. But you go with anything.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go 4 up.
All right, so yeah, 4 was meh. 3 was the high point.
Excuse you.
No. Excuse me. 3 was the high point. 4 started going downhill.
And then everything just kind of followed. Like the games did well, but you look at people that like the things that they talk about that they hate about it is you get stuff like the battle packs and stuff like that. They're exactly what it is. It's pay mechanics. So
it's fucking shady.
So he went on to try to redeem EA's factor with the focus on EA Originals, which makes sense because Sea of Solitude had just gotten its release date at that point, which recently came out. Apparently really good. Haven't actually got a chance to play it yet.
Well, but that's an indie game.
It is an indie game. That's the thing. They're like, well, we're using our money to help these indie companies make something else and make something that's original. So like he went on, when you're part of a big company, it's too easy to fall into the trap that when you see a game concept, it has to be big. The notion of actually coming up from small, unique game ideas, we know from the work that we've been doing from our subscription business that gamers will play a FIFA or Fortnite. They have one main franchise, but they want to break from those games and play something that may be 5 to 10 hours long. So that was kind of like their supportive. They wanted to make sure that they're looking in a good light because they're giving money to these indie teams to start making stuff for them that are small and unique. Yeah, the problem is that that's one idea.
We all seen how A Way Out went.
A Way Out went. A Way Out, Faye, and there was another one that they did. It was actually Unraveled. They all do very well. A Way Out kind of had some problems,
and their dev had some choice words about EA. Yeah,
but like aside, generally, like they have said, well, EA had like the people that have worked on it. EA has helped them out quite a bit on it, and like even Zoink Games has even praised a bit more on their side as well.
Yeah,
but at the same time, it's not enough to be like, okay, we're doing this, that we help fund these smaller games. You're not the only person that does that.
No.
There's a lot of companies that fund these smaller games, and they do much better with them.
Well, yeah, look at Microsoft.
Microsoft is actually a really good example with their idea Xbox. That is like a great way to do it. Sony hasn't been pushing the indies a lot lately, but
Holy fuck, they have not.
Back when they were pushing the indies.
So PS3?
Yeah, around the PS3 era, definitely you could see a major benefit of it. And it made Sony look really good in that light, in that spotlight. Same thing with Microsoft, and same thing with Nintendo as well. Nintendo pushes a full-on indie select that happens, or Nintendo Direct.
The Nindies.
The Nindies. And that helps get the games noticed. Plus, they're like, hey, it's on the Switch. Just, you can get it here, and we love these little indies, and the Switch is perfect for it. That is exactly what an indie development needs from it.
Well, yeah, because, the Switch just prints money.
And on the plus side, the company around it, like Nintendo and Microsoft and Sony even, they have a good public relation at this time, because they are not doing stuff like the loot boxes and just generally
being assholes,
being assholes with everything.
Well, also, we have to look at EA's past of them closing down studios.
Exactly.
How many amazing studios have they gotten rid of, and how many people have lost their jobs because of EA bullshit?
No, exactly. Which is why I was always scared about Respawn, but it seems like Respawn has some sort of foothold inside EA that's like, hey, no, listen, we're going to do what we want.
Well, I think Respawn has the same kind of deal as how Bungie and Activision, what they had. That Bungie essentially had leeway to do whatever the fuck they wanted, more than under the umbrella.
I would say so, but even with Destiny 2, there's something that, like, just recently, how I mentioned about their road map, you could see that, like, their pull away from Activision has gotten better. Like, it made the game a little bit better at this time. So I do know where you're getting at, but it does seem like there was still a lot more pull with Activision there.
Yeah.
No, it's just, it feels like they have that little extra bit of information. Like they're there with the foothold that they can do a little bit more. And I almost want to say it's because they've shown how, how they made the game and went, listen, if you want this to work, let us do this. Because that's exactly what happened with Apex.
Well, Titanfall 2 released at the worst possible time.
That part is where I'm going to say that Respawn doesn't have that actual foothold there. They can't say when they can publish the game. They can just go, let us do this.
Yeah, and then we'll give it to you when it's done.
And that's what I believe in this case. Of course, we have nothing confirmed.
But yeah, and that's just it. Like, EA has screwed over so many people in the past that it...
Visceral, Redwood Shores.
Well, yeah, Westwood.
Westwood, yeah, not Red.
Fuck. There's just been so many different studios that have just been obliterated by EA. Pandemic.
Exactly, yeah.
Like these huge fucking studios that were making amazing games years ago, but no, they got bitch slapped by EA. So that's just it. People do not trust EA because they're just.
So this is the thing. Like, combining both stories together. We've talked about how Activision, how EA are both assholes. We got to now look back at the history of these two companies, because you look at this. Okay, their actual rivalry. Like, I would say PS1 is when everything started with them.
Yeah, probably.
Okay,
Because
so
before PS1, EA was really big into the PC market.
yeah, and
'Cause
Activision was just really coming up during that time.
Well, no. Fuck. Activision's been around since the 70s with the Atari.
Oh yeah,
Fucking
that's
Pitfall.
true. That was dumb.
Pitfall.
So yeah, they're
Activision.
there.
Activision was like the second real like big gaming company in America.
So yeah, they were there, and they were, they weren't doing major things though. Is one thing that you would notice back in that time. They had like
No.
rights to Spider-Man, and they would do games like that, and then like slowly, this is where like Tony Hawk and games like that would start coming out. Then you had EA start trying to go within the market as well, and you had like not Call of Duty. It was
Medal of Honor.
Medal of Honor. Thank you.
And also
Medal of Honor. And then they had the sports, and they've had that cornerstone market to like really keep them going. From that as well, they just kept going. But during that time, it would always end up being that you've been doing really good stuff, and EA would be dropping. But then somewhere along the line, it would just start swapping.
Well, yeah, you'd have a really good really good Need for Speed game.
Yeah, you'd have a really good Need for Speed game, which put Activision back up, and then like the next Medal of Honor game wasn't really good, so let's put that back up here. Yeah.
Oh.
Need for Speed, Medal of Honor.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So like EA's right back up there, but then you had these
Tony
games.
Hawk.
Yeah, you had Tony Hawk from Activision. Like you would get Tony Hawk 3 and Tony Hawk 4. And that just starts going down.
Then we had Guitar Hero.
Then you had Guitar Hero, which started bringing them back up again. And even before that, you had Tony Hawk Underground, games like that. Once again, Activision comes back on top. EA games start sinking because we're getting tired of the Need for Speed games. We're getting tired of Medal of Honor. We're getting tired of these challenge everything genre or era of games.
SSX?
The SSX series like started going downfall, and like you had that factor in, and also their sports games don't turn out as good as the years before, so it just keeps going in a loop though.
And then Activision
right now
has COD.
Then
we got to COD 4.
And then it just keeps rotating like that. We have EA, Activision just in a constant battle. When one is doing good, they're up high. When the other's doing bad, like good, the other one's down. It's just a constant up and down with those two. So this is where I'm seeing it. Right now, because of Battlefront 2, because of the loot boxes and all that, EA is now the bad guy. They are down at the bottom.
Because of Anthem.
Anthem just put it almost in the hole. By the way, I picked up Anthem. I'll talk about that in a little bit here. For $20, Legion of Dawn.
You paid $15 too much, friend.
Really?
Yep.
You bought it for $5?
Well, no, I would only pay $5 for it.
I called it at 20 is the most.
And one of the guys at work, his PS4 is fucked.
Because of it?
Yep.
That is a sly right now.
It has obliterated his fucking hard drive.
Everything
keeps crashing.
Ooh.
Netflix, games, it doesn't matter. It just crashes.
See, like, right now, with Anthem, he puts in, and then it just spits the disc back out. Like, forcefully spits it out. Like, I've never seen the PlayStation, because usually it goes like, oh, it's a slow the disc across the room.
Well, the game was that bad.
Apparently. So, yeah. So yeah, right now EA, they're down. They're kicked down. Activision, this stuff has happened, and they're on the approach to fall back down. I think if I'm going to take the positive out of this interview, the positive
They got
is
Star
that
Wars.
well, no. The positive is that right now they're like people are seeing us as the bad guy. Why is this? What's going on? What can we do to make this better? What can we do to make this better is exactly the kind of thought that EA needs right now to pull that back up, get heads out of their asses, and make a fucking great era of games again. Because that's exactly what they need.
They need to make Need for Speed Underground 3. That's it.
They you know what? They can start.
They
that
can make
start
Skate
this trend.
4.
You know, that should be the game that they like kick it off with. But right now, if everything works out, if the game is as good as it looks,
they got Star Wars.
Jedi Fallen Order could possibly be that game. But once again, that we're looking ahead of that. So
well,
this concept, this idea,
looks promising.
It does. It looks great. It looks promising. This idea of like we know that we're the bad guys. Let's do better. Should be on EA's docket right now, and just fucking do it. Meanwhile, they have like Ubisoft on the side, and they're like, "Well, we've always kind of maintained a love-hate relationship with fans, so we just stay borderline."
Well, no, they go down and then they go up, go down, go up, go down, go up. Because look at the launch of Watch Dogs 1. Not good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. If you're talking like that, put out enough stuff that keeps people interested. So like you have like for every Watch Dogs 1, you had Assassin's Creed. Like for the start of Siege, we have. Give me an example because I'm out of that.
What start of Siege?
The start.
Well, Siege didn't go well.
Yeah, but after a while, it did get better, and that's exactly like that's the Ubisoft thing. If the game sucked at first and it's something that's not something that they can fix, it'll be fixed in the sequel.
Yeah. Well, yeah, look at Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 was so much better, and now we got Watch Dogs 3 Golden Girls Edition.
And Siege, and even with Wildlands, if you look at Wildlands is a good game, but it's not amazing. You're looking at Breakpoint. Breakpoint looks pretty solid right now. But even then, you're looking at, if you look back at Wildlands and just the content of what's being put up, like the special multiplayer missions, the additional deathmatch multiplayers, that increased interest in the game and actually made the game much better. So there's that concept that's going on as well. They can't fix Far Cry New Dawn though. That's that one's dead to me.
It was all right. It wasn't that bad.
It's dead to me. That one was bad. I could not. All right. Well, let's move on to asshole number 3.
All right. So, who sells stolen content?
G2A.
What a bunch of douchebags. So, on the internet, we have shady assholes selling stuff on eBay and places like that, and Craigslist. And then we have G2A that sells keys for games to like Steam and shit like that. That most of the time, the payment for these keys were from stolen credit cards.
And on top of that, they give those keys over. They don't do any validation checks, anything like that. So if the code it doesn't work, well, it doesn't work. So that's always been something with G2A, and it's gathered them a lot of negative press, to say the least, especially over the last 5 years. And a lot of indie studios, a lot of even of the bigger names, have pretty much went, yeah, we do not want our games on your system. We don't want anyone to use your stuff because it's just not good.
It's
not worth.
It's just crap.
It's crap. So G2A is attempting to fix that in the most ethical way possible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
By
Well, they're asking gaming journalists and journalists in general to post on their website or whatever articles that G2A written and posted in their own name. That's fucking shady.
That is so fucking shady.
Journalism integrity at its best. Of anyone that accepts this bullshit and posts the crap up.
So yeah, pay us to put this good article up on your site. And I haven't been reached out to G2A for this, so I'm kind of happy on that one, to be honest. We're not high enough to actually do that. We have in the past have people trying to do that though, and I've had to back check credentials and everything. A lot of them are very
shady,
to say the least. But this was actually confirmed via Polygon that like G2A's head of communication, he said that he attempted to solicit positive paid coverage without disclosure against company policy, and the employees would be. Wait, just 1 second. I lost my spot. So he did confirm that an employee tried to attempt positive paid coverage without the disclosure to the company, and the employee would be reprimanded. Is that what he confirmed? Which is also dealing with UK employment law. That's another major thing. So during this whole thing, people were posting about this, and like they were coming out saying, "Hey, somebody from G2A contacted us and tried to pay us to put articles," which just fucking downgraded everything. And G2A hasn't actually been able to really recover from that, from what we're seeing here.
No, because they're complete fucking assholes, and they don't deserve to recover.
Yeah, this is one that's like, this is a painful one to read through.
And then from this, we had multiple indie devs and different devs come out and go, if you're gonna do this, we'd rather you pirate our game than you freaking go and use this service.
Yeah, if you're not going to pay us anyways and play the game, just pirate it so that you don't pay someone else for our work.
Yeah, because if there's, what was it? I think if there was a refund or something like that, the developer, or if it was found out to be fraudulent transactions with credit cards, the developer would have to pay the amount for the game, and then on top, like the amount for the refund, and then on top of that, they would also have to pay some sort of like a fee every game. So they were losing money.
No, that's it. Yeah.
So it's complete fucking bullshit. So yeah, G2A assholes.
Okay, so that's enough about assholes, and we're almost up to our limit here on the asshole meter. let's talk about something
Nintendo. Let's talk about Nintendo.
Nintendo. Good.
Okay, so this was a bit confusing. Let's go with that.
Yep.
So Nintendo, for the longest time, we heard that there was going to be a Switch revision. And that's not really surprising with Nintendo, Sony, or Microsoft. We have revisions of consoles every freaking generation since we go all the way back to the, let's say, N64 or the original Game Boy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
We've had multiple different revisions for the Game Boy, especially because they started with the Game Boy. Then we had the Light in Japan. We had the Pocket. We had the Color, and so on and so forth. So we've had multiple different refreshes, and usually they make
Advanced SD, Advanced Micro, Advanced.
Yeah, but usually these revisions make sense because they trim it down. Because like when we go from the original Game Boy, we needed 4 fucking batteries that people did not have in their house because you'd have to steal all their batteries from the remotes, and then people would be bitching at you. And then go to the Game Boy Color, which only took 2 batteries, which very slim, better screen, and all that other shit. So awesome upgrade. Same as the Game Boy Advance SP. Fucking awesome system. So, for the longest time, we heard that the Switch was going to have a new revision. And when was it? Thursday or Wednesday?
Was Wednesday, I believe.
Wednesday. So, Nintendo showed off the new Switch revision. Well, I'm confused. Because they got rid of...
They got rid of the thing that made it the Switch.
Yeah, they got rid of the core concept of I have a mobile system, and then I can plug it in, and it turns into a regular console, Switch, and then I switch it again back to mobile. They got rid of that. So it's now a Vita.
Essentially, yeah. It really does look like a Vita when you look at it.
So... I have a spectrum of things of really good that I'm excited about for the new system, and I have shit that I'm like, I don't really like that.
All right, let's hear it off.
Okay, on the really good side, well, we have the new D-pad. It actually has a fucking D-pad, and it's a classic Nintendo D-pad from like the NES. And I'm like, okay, cool. That looks awesome. I'm excited for that because the stupid Joy-Cons have those 4 fucking buttons for the D-pad. It sucks. So they have that. It's a nice chunky D-pad. That's my favorite statement from this. On the other hand, what else do they have? The colors. The colors look fucking awesome. They have a nice yellow, a gray, and a turquoise. And I'm like, okay, harkening back to the days of the Game Boy Color. Awesome. Then we get to the kind of weird middle section of, they got rid of a bunch of stuff. So they got rid of the Joy-Cons. So no more Joy-Cons because they're connected on the freaking device itself. No HD rumble, no motion sensors. So, kind of iffy, but I'm like, okay, I don't really use any of this shit for my Switch. So whatever, it's fine. There are some games that use it, like 1-2 Punch and probably ARMS, that you need the Joy-Cons motion control shit. But I'm like,
Peach Ball.
Yeah. It's like, do I really care about these features being gone? It's not really that big of a deal. They said, interesting thing, you can take the Joy-Cons and extra Joy-Cons and connect it to your system. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I can connect multiple controllers to it. But the thing is, in Canada, where we live, Joy-Cons are $99.99 for a pair of 2 plus tax. So that's $115 in New Brunswick. That shit ain't cheap. So this comes to the price of the unit. It costs $199 American or $260 Canadian. Let's add the tax up. We're up to $300. A regular Switch costs $379, so $120 more. If we buy the Joy-Cons, we're at $360. We're off by $20. So I'm like, okay, that's iffy, and I'm like, that's the middle section of kind of getting a bit iffy.
Yeah.
And then we have the fucking kicker in the ball sacks that gets rid of major functionality, the TV. It will not support HDMI out via USB Type-C. It does not support the dock. It does not support anything. And I'm like, what the fuck, guys? And then I looked at the chart of like tech specs. It uses the exact same Tegra and NVIDIA Tegra chip, same battery, same like similar specs, but no TV. And I'm like, what the fuck, guys? It's like, okay, get rid of the Joy-Cons, get rid of the HD Rumble and all that crap. It makes sense. But don't get rid of the TV, because if you're going to charge me that price, I should have access to my TV. I should be able to plug it in and buy this as a second unit, as a cheap portable unit, but that I can still plug into my TV and play Zelda on the big screen.
Kind of understand what you mean. It's like one of those if you're gonna fuck me, buy me dinner thing.
Yeah,
right?
I can understand where they're coming from, that this, well, not the fuck me and buy me dinner kind of thing, but I can understand where Nintendo's coming from. They're going with the kind of concept of the 2DS, the original 2DS. I love the look of it, because it's so awkward and weird, but it's only $110 and you get a power charger. I'm like, that's cool. They're funky colors. You get a free game. And I'm like, it's a really good value. It's a nifty system, but for $300 with tax, that's a lot of money for no TV. So, like, yeah, on the 2DS, they got rid of the 3D, but that was it. Everything else works exactly the same. You still get the dual screens. You still get you get the analog stick, and everything just works as is, but you're not losing core functionality. And I'm like, bullshit. So, but I can see where Nintendo's coming from. It's to attract the people that haven't jumped to buying a Switch yet, that are still stuck with the 3DS. But that's the thing that I don't get about people, is if they're willing to spend $300, why can't they save up a bit more and just buy a regular Switch?
Oh, understandable. Yeah.
And also, yes, the Switch Lite does seem more child friendly, because the Switch is kind of fragile feeling.
No, I definitely understand on that one. Yeah, that's
so it's more kid proof, but I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Where's my TV? So now that they've built a mobile only system, are they gonna build me a TV only system that I've been wanting? I just want a box with a couple HDMI, like an HDMI port, an Ethernet port, and a couple USB ports, and I'll provide my rest of my stuff.
No, according to Bowser, this isn't something that's Nintendo's actually doing, but they have lied to us to hide stuff before, so it's likely that this is still a thing that could happen.
Maybe the Pro system is just a TV only system. I would kill for that.
Could be.
It'd be great for Smash.
Oh yeah, it could be.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the whole thing with Nintendo. I'm excited to see a new system. If it would have had TV on it, I might have considered buying another one. But no TV, that's a hard fucking sell for $300. Like, you're losing core functionality.
No, exactly.
Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, and that is pretty much the show for today. Let's finish up on just the new games that came out this week. So this is the week of is it this week? It's the 7th through 13th.
Yes.
You know what? I'm going to include the games that came out last week as well, because there is quite a few good ones that we need to cover here as well. So what came out last week on July 2nd, Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered Edition, came out on Nintendo Switch. The Stranger Things 3 game came out on July 4th, and apparently really good. If you're a fan of Stranger Things and just fans of the old school top-down beat-em-ups,
Yeah,
or
but it's
action games.
mobile.
No, it's on Nintendo Switch, PS4, and Xbox One.
Oh, I thought it was mobile.
On the 5th, we had Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle from the developers of Dynasty Warriors, and that's on Nintendo Switch, PS4, Xbox One. Also, Sea of Solitude, one of the EA originals that we mentioned earlier, that came out also July 5th, PS4, Xbox, and PC. On the 9th, we had Dr. Mario World, the latest Android and iPhone puzzle game from Nintendo, which, hey, you have Nurse Peach, you have Dr. Bowser, you have Dr. Luigi. That is selling me right there, to be honest.
Yeah, but
I want to play as Dr. Bowser.
Yeah, but it's a shitty mobile game.
I want to play as Dr. Bowser, just something that's out there. Also on the 9th, we had Senran Kagura Peach Ball, the Busty Ninja pinball game for the Nintendo Switch. We have a 2-part gameplay video of that game on our YouTube channel right now.
Questionable adult behavior.
Oh, it's so questionable.
Tisk.
Actually, we have a little bit of time. I want to talk about that one because it's fun if you can bypass the perversion and realize that you're really just hitting girls with your balls.
Well, Burst Renewal went on clearance today. I got it for $30.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
There was one copy down in Moncton, so but yeah, pervy games, you fucking pervert. You and your tell your story about fucking Catherine, about what you saw on Amazon.
Yeah, so in case I don't get an actual review copy of Catherine, I do have Catherine pre-ordered.
Did you get the adorable sheep edition?
No, I got the normal edition because
why didn't you buy the sheep?
Because Prime had a sale on it, and it's much cheaper without the sheep. I would get the sheep, but I also don't have the extra money to spend on it.
Yeah, I know. I have to skip games
because also Ember has so many other games coming out as well.
That's why I had to be super selective with games.
Exactly.
Because most of my money is going to Nintendo.
Yeah.
Which is weird. That hasn't happened since I want to say Super Nintendo.
Yeah, it's going to be around that.
That's weird.
So, yeah. I highly recommend Peach Ball if you can get past the perversion. It is actually a lot of fun. So definitely.
Yeah, whoa! Peach Blast was a lot of fun.
Peach Flash was a lot of fun, and Peach Ball is just as fun. Only it's pinball.
Because it was Splatoon with water guns, and this is just pinball. So it's all good, and also it's only $50.
That too, yeah. What else did we have? We had on July 11th, we had Blazing Chrome for Nintendo Switch, Xbox One, PS4. I actually did not know that it came out for Xbox One and PS4. I might actually look into that myself now. But we do also have gameplay footage of that game coming up here as well on starting on Monday. And it is a love letter to everything that's a 2D shooter. So Contra, Metal Slug, Gunstar Heroes. This game has all of that.
Oh, yeah, side-scroller shooter.
We also had Earth Defense Force 5 for the Windows. Tiny Metal Full Metal Rumble for Windows and PS4. And today, July 12th, we had Dragon Quest Builders 2, Agelos, which we also have a review up on our website, and God Eater 3. And next week, we only have one game coming out that's on our list. It's the most important game for me right now. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, The Black Order.
Yeah. Yeah, my only important game is coming up next month, and that's Astral Chain.
Here, why don't we cover the rest of the games that are coming out here as well? Because there's a few good ones.
Okay. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wait. August 6th, Digital Devolver is dropping Metal Wolf Chaos XD.
Yes.
So, and that shit is cheap. It's only $30.
That is definitely going to be a major release for me.
So it is a really good price of a weird From Software game from the original Xbox, only released in Japan.
So also coming out in July, though, we will have the Windows version of Beyond Two Souls, Raiden V Director's Cut for Nintendo Switch. That's coming July 25th. Also, Ninja Warriors Return. An old school beat 'em up that was for Super Nintendo. That's coming to Nintendo Switch and PS4. Also, July 26th, we have Fire Emblem Three Houses, the next big entry in the Fire Emblem series.
Huge game for Nintendo.
Wolfenstein Cyberpilot and Wolfenstein Youngblood. Also coming out on the 26th. And Kill la Kill If, which the demo is out right now. And as somebody who's not a big fan of 3D brawlers like the, say, Jump Force and the Naruto series,
it's
fucking fantastic.
It's Arc System Works.
It's Arc Publishing.
Yeah, but...
Yeah. No, it's true. Like, you definitely feel something different on that one. And I love it. Can't wait to actually try more of that. Kill la Kill was a great series as it is, anyways. So,
and also Astral Chain.
And Astral Chain, yeah.
Oh my god, I'm fucking pumped for Platinum.
That is August 30th.
Oh yeah.
So that's still a month away, but that's what we have here. So that's what we have for July. That's what we have for our show today, which is July 12th, 2019. Yes. And for GameItAll.com, I'm Lucas Grimm.
Hey, what up? It's Pino25.
Thank you for watching this podcast. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button if you're watching this on YouTube. If you're watching this on any of the other podcast platforms, be sure to give us a like. Follow us on our social medias, which the links will be in our descriptions. We'll see you guys next time.
Yeah. What?